Masters. Alright, next game. Actually, since there's only about a half hour or so left, maybe I'll just do some, start with a little bit of combat practice, and then do the intro. So at least remember what the buttons are. Okay, they're not shift and control. Oh wait, they're this shift and control. Assume the audio's coming through and everything, so... Whoa! Ow! We have an Ari Lulalile skiff against a Spathi eluder. Oop. Kaboom. Poor Patootie, he didn't last very long. Zakfat pick, which is one of the weaker ships in the game. And especially bad against the Spathi, because it can't catch up to them and doesn't have a long enough range weapon to hit them from, well, long range. See if I can get a slingshot around the planet. Nope. Not a good one, anyway. Well, that's enough of a warm-up. See if I can... Is there a... I'll just restart it. Ur-Quan Masters. So this game was originally made 3 years after Starflight 2, or released 3 years after Starflight 2. Hopefully it's not too quiet. I guess I could be reading this. A huge underground city, filled with the technological wonders of an advanced alien race, the Precursors, who vanished 1,000 centuries ago. Something the humans discovered on the edge of Alliance space. But then the main Ur-Quan fleet broke through the Alliance's defensive line, isolating the planet, stranding the scientists 100 light years away from Earth. They waited hopefully for a rescue vessel, which never came. "20 years have passed. We, the survivors of the research mission, have colonized this world. We continued our investigation of the underground city, and we have discovered its purpose. It is a factory. A factory for building starships. But there aren't enough materials to make a complete vessel. We can finish only the skeleton of one starship. But that must be enough. Because you must captain the vessel. And return to Earth. To travel the great distance, you must push through into hyperspace. And that looks very uncomfortable. Find out what has happened over these many years. Tell Earth of our plight. And if the war with the Ur-Quan still rages, fight for Earth and the Alliance as well as you can. And here we are in the Sol system. Oh, I'm in maneuver mode. So spacebar goes to the menus. Arrows are my controls. My ship is not very maneuverable right now. I don't think gravity actually pulls on me in this screen though. Ah, I missed Earth. I'm so slow to turn. Please turn. There we go. There we go.
Attention, interloper. Heed this recorded message. This drone vessel speaks with the voice and authority of Ur-Quan. You are trespassing within Ur-Quan space. This world, Earth, may not be approached for any reason, nor will hostilities against our orbital platform be tolerated. In addition, your ship does not respond to standard hierarchy identification transmissions, and is therefore deemed to be independent. This is not permissible. Only subservience shall be tolerated. This drone now leaves to inform the Ur-Quan of your transgressions. You are commanded to remain here and await the arrival of the Ur-Quan. Disobedience will be punished.
After Starflight, it seems weird having a game with VO where where I'm not reading aloud all of the text. So let's check out Earth, which is really red looking. Can't scan it.
Attention unidentified space vessel. I am Starbase Commander Hayes of the slave planet Earth. Our hyperwave broadcast is extremely weak. Situation critical. Energy cores exhausted. Scanners and deep radar are non-functional. We cannot identify your vessel. Are you the scheduled hierarchy resupply ship? Repeat. Are you the resupply vessel?
And we have some different options. I'm gonna go with... No, this is the Starship Vindicator, but we stand ready to assist you. Yes, this is the resupply vessel. What do you need resupplied? Or slave planet, hierarchy resupply vessel. What is going on here? I'm gonna ask for...
Look, I don't know who you are or why you're here, but right now the only thing I'm worried about is saving the lives of 1,900 men and women aboard this starbase, and right now you're our only hope. I can't keep the transmitter on too much longer. We need the power for heat and air, so if you don't have any radioactives on board your vessel, please get some and bring them back here before it's too late.
Where can we find the radioactive elements you need?
The fastest way to get radioactives in this system would be to land on Mercury and scour the surface for deposits of radioactive elements. But be careful, Mercury's a pretty inhospitable place. Watch out for earthquakes and those high-temperature areas. Thanks, I'll make sure to mention this the next time I talk with our masters. I'm sure they will reward
We will
you.
leave now to find the elements you require. Okay, let's go to Mercury. Very slowly, because my ship needs upgrades. Yeah, I think I almost missed it. Here we are. Auto scan. Okay, I have to remember I'm pressing enter in this game. The last game I was pressing spacebar for all of these, for all the menu things. This game it's enter. So I believe radioactives are the light orange looking ones. Escape? Escape. Planets are much smaller in this. You can drive all the way around a planet in like 5 seconds. Compared to Starflight. You can't, they don't really have any way of like hiding things that are on a planet in this. But systems can be a lot larger because you can have a whole bunch of planets, but then planets also can have moons like this one when you come in close. So there can still wind up being a lot of things to search if you're just trying to search every single thing in the galaxy.
Did you find any radioactive elements for our power cores?
But you can be a lot more sure that you actually have searched everything. Okay, I'm just going to give
We're
him
initiating
the stuff.
transfer of radioactives, Captain. Now, as soon as our engineers can refit the energy cores, there, that's much better.
That was
Call
fast.
ratings are climbing. Life support is coming back into the green. Deep radar systems and sensors are now online, and I can scan your vessel. What the hell kind of ship is that? Just who are you, Captain?
I am Captain Zelnick of the Starship Vindicator. We are the survivors of a Star Control science research team to the Vela star system.
Star Control science mission, huh? Captain, I served as a Star Control officer during the war aboard several cruisers in the Corward Front. And if there'd been any scientific mission to Vela, I would have heard about it.
Mission was highly secret.
You know, come to think of it, there were some rumors that Corridor 9, the Special Operations Division of Star Control, was directing some hush-hush operation near Androsynth Space. The Vela star system, yes, that would be the right direction. So,
It's on the
Captain,
other side of
if you say
Androsynth
it's
Space.
true, how do you explain that huge alien starship you're flying? And why are you here? What do you want from us?
We have returned to Earth to give you the technological secrets of the precursors and to help you fight the hierarchy.
Ah, fight the Ur-Quan. Win back our freedom. I remember having such thoughts myself once, long time ago. That was in the first years after the defeat, when it was still terrifying to look up and see the bloody glow of the pulsating slave shield overhead. Though day and night we gazed up at the impenetrable wall as though the sheer power of our hatred would pull it down. But over the years, I spent so much of my time struggling, down on the surface, under the shield, and then later up here trying to keep the station alive, that I'd forgotten what it means to be free, to hate our Ur-Quan Masters. And now here you are, in an alien ship of unknown power, offering me your assistance to fight against the hierarchy again after all these years. Captain, your offer is intriguing. It's tempting to think that with your advanced precursor technology, we can somehow crack the Earth's slave shield and reassemble the Alliance to attack the hierarchy. And this time, win the damn war. Consider the consequences if you should fail. The Ur-Quan won't just punish us here on the station, they'll exact a gruesome retribution on the surface below as well. Before I commit this station to helping you attack the Ur-Quan and accepting the risk of annihilation if we are defeated, I have to make sure that you and your ship have what it takes to oppose the hierarchy. I'll make you a deal. If you can eliminate the alien base on the moon and get rid of that threat at least, I will seriously consider your offer.
What details can you give us about the base on the moon?
After the Ur-Quan erected the slave shield around the Earth and established this space station, they decided to leave a contingent of combat ships close to the Earth to keep watch on our planet and confirm that they were obeying the Ur-Quan slave laws. I'm certain they're still out there on the surface of the moon because we can pick up a constant stream of alien broadcasts. Be careful, Captain. There are probably a dozen Spathia looters and Ilrath Avengers down there on the lunar surface. I don't know why they haven't come after you yet, but when they do, you'd better have your weapons armed and your thrusters burning hot.
My thrusters are terrible, and my weapons are nothing to write home about either. I have one Earthling cruiser, plus my Vindicator. Okay, got a bunch of things on the bioscan, got a few bits of metal, and got these robots. I guess, which my stunner, my stunner can hit. Report from surface. We have discovered an alien base and have explored its interior. The installation must have been abandoned many years ago, but great care has been taken to make it appear active. Life support systems are functioning, fusion generators are at full output, and robotic construction vehicles have been programmed to roam the lunar surface, bulldozing moon dust into random piles. In addition, we have found the installation's hyperwave locked in transmit mode, endlessly playing the same alien recording. Although we cannot translate the message, our Xenotech, Ensign Rigby, believes the message is some kind of alert or mayday broadcast. The base is filled with useful materials and equipment. We will scavenge as much as we can and bring it aboard immediately. End of report. Slowly turn around.
Have you dealt with the base yet?
We found the base, but it was abandoned years ago, or we attacked the moon base and completely destroyed the enemy. We found the base, but it was abandoned years ago.
Darn! All these years we've been listening to their incoherent broadcast, and we never even guessed. Captain, listen closely. Long-range sensors show a ship closing on this station fast. Our computer identifies it as Ilrath, Avenger class. I think you've got a fight on your hands, Captain. Your best bet is to wait until you have point-blank range. Captain,
Definitely.
It's jamming our signal.
From what I remember about Ilrath Avengers is you don't want to be anywhere near point-blank range.
The breath of the Dark Twin Kazon, a human and an alien starship. How fascinating. When I intercepted that Ur-Quan drone and learned that an unidentified starship had approached Earth, I never expected to find such a remarkable vehicle in the hands of a human. Humans are prey animals, weak and helpless. But here is a human in an armed starship, and therefore in direct violation of the oath of fealty. I am sure our masters, the Ur-Quan, will punish Earth most severely for this treachery when I present them with the twisted wreckage of your ship and your many charred corpses.
The Ilrath are so over the top. I like how they have different fonts for each of the aliens. Where the hell did you come from? It will be a pleasure blasting your ugly face out of the stars. Surrender, foul alien creature, or you will be annihilated. Look, let's be reasonable. We can coexist peacefully. I feel like surrender, foul alien creature, or you will be annihilated is appropriate here.
Fool! As alien as your ship may be, our sensors reveal how few weapons you have on board. Though this vessel is undercrewed, and our cloak of darkness is non-functional, we still have more than enough power to kill you all.
So their cloak is down and they're undercrewed. buck. In that case, I could just probably pelt them with some nukes here. Earthling cruisers were basically...
What a beautiful sight, Captain! I haven't seen an Avenger blown away like that since the battle in Draco. I guess you've shown that you can handle yourself in battle, Captain. So my last reservation about helping you has been dissolved. I will commit this station to helping free Earth and defeat the Ur-Quan. We may get our atoms rearranged in the process, but by God, Captain, we're going to try. So the obvious first step is to get the precursor equipment and software over here so that we can make it work with our ship repair fabricators. But then what, Captain?
Then Commander will proceed to kick some major alien butt. Trust me, Commander, I have a plan. A really good plan, but for now it must remain a secret. We slowly build our strength, unify an allied Starfleet, and bring the Ur-Quan to their knee equivalents.
A sensible plan, Captain. Let's get to work. Good luck. By the way, Captain, I think we need a name for this new alliance we're going to forge. And since it was your idea, it's only fair that you get the honor of naming it. So, what will it be?
The New Alliance of Free Stars, the Concordance of Alien Nations, the United Federation of Worlds, or the Empire of Zelnick. The Empire of Zelnick is kind of fun, but I also like United Federation of Worlds. His responses to some of these are funny. Star Control 2 I've played a lot more than the Starflight game, so kind of unfortunately I know a lot about it. But let's keep moving on through here.
Okay, that sounds pretty inspiring. So be it. The New Alliance of Free Stars. Now, Captain, I expect the configuration process for the starbase to take at least 2 weeks, so let's get to work.
It only took you like 2 seconds to go from raw uranium to
I have good news to report, Captain. We have successfully integrated the precursor technology from your ship into our fabricator system, and as you can see, we've already begun minor repairs on your ship, patching up some of the micrometeorite holes. We noticed that your ship does not have an emergency warp escape unit, so our engineers rigged up some for you and each of your escorts. Now, you should be able to escape from a bad situation with the touch of a button. But there is a cost, however. The unit gulps up 5 fuel units each time your precursor ship uses it. Also, we now have a limited capacity to make modifications to your ship, to refine starship fuel, to build additional combat ships, and to train new members of your crew for the flagship and any ships you acquire for your fleet. Captain, I know you're eager to get to work, so I'll be brief. If you have any questions how this starbase works, what resources we need, or just some background information on the galaxy, don't hesitate to ask.
Do I have minerals to offload? I guess we'll see. Oops. Okay, apparently spacebar shows the previous messages. Oh yeah, I do have some minerals to offload.
The more minerals you bring us, Captain, the faster we'll be able to tackle the Ur-Quan. Certainly, Captain. What do you need to know?
Let's get some background information. Would you elaborate on your facilities here at the Starbase?
We can modify your precursor ship, build additional combat vessels, and supply you with fuel and crew.
What can you do to enhance and modify the Vindicator?
Our engineers and precursor specialists agree with the scientists from your world that your starship was designed to be a workhorse vehicle, which can be easily reconfigured for different missions by adding or swapping self-contained equipment packs, which we call modules. The modules we can build right now are thruster units, which make your ship move faster, attitude jets, which allow you to rotate the ship more quickly,
also good,
crew pods, which provide life support facilities for up to 50 additional crew members,
important because those are like hit
storage
points,
bays, which increase your ship's cargo capacity for mineral resources,
also important,
fuel tanks, which hold an additional 50 units of fuel,
also important,
dynamos, which feed energy into your combat energy batteries, improving your weapon's rate of fire. And last but not least, ion bolt guns, combat weaponry, the exact function of which depends on its location aboard the ship. When put in the first or front module slot, it fires a single shot forward. When put in the second slot, it fires 2 shots, spread to the left and right of center. When put in the third slot, it fires 2 shots directly, left and right. And when put in the last or rear slot, it fires a single shot straight backwards.
How will I get fuel for the Vindicator?
This base is designed to service hierarchy ships. Fortunately, your flagship uses the same stabilized antimatter technology as hierarchy vessels and will be able to synthesize what you need. However, due to the size of your ship, we'll have to produce vast quantities of fuel, which will be a substantial drain on our resources.
How can I assemble a fleet of fighting
Our
ships?
shipyard facilities are sophisticated and fully automated, permitting a handful of Starbase personnel to do the same job as 500 vac-suited construction workers. However, the only designs that we had in our computers were incomplete hierarchy ship designs. Things looked grim until one of the officers came forward with an amazing story. Even though the Ur-Quan destroyed every Earthling cruiser in the fleet nearly 20 years ago, one of my maintenance engineers was a Starship production assistant at the Detroit shipyard. When Earth was conquered, she was ordered to destroy all ship construction databases. But she secretly made copies of the blueprint discs and then kept them with her ever since. These discs contain all the data we need to build as many Earthling cruisers as you want, provided you, Captain, can supply the large amounts of mineral resources required to build those vessels. In theory, Captain, we could build alien starships here if we had designs for them. However, it's a well-known fact that alien vessels just can't be flown in combat without native starship captains at the helm.
How will we acquire additional personnel?
We have almost 2,000 highly motivated, skilled professionals aboard this starbase, and every single one of them wants a berth aboard your starship. However, each hand we lose to your ship means less manpower here at the starbase, and this is reflected in the crew RU cost. As long as you don't lose too many crew members to combat or planet exploration, the RU cost will remain static. But we have only so many warm bodies on this starbase, and if your needs for crew grow beyond a certain point, the cost could increase dramatically.
Would you please explain your resource allocation system? Sure.
As you know, Captain, we've committed the entire output of this station to building your flagship and your battle fleet into the strongest force possible. However, our resources are very limited, and we feel you must decide how we are to spend our effort and materials. To aid you in making these decisions, we have implemented a resource allocation scheme. We provide you with a numerical assessment of the station's resources and ascribe a cost to each task we can perform and each device we can build. It's up to you to decide how you're going to spend your resource units, or RU as we call them. To acquire more RU, you must bring resources back to the starbase. These resources can be either in the form of mineral ores gathered from planet surfaces or already refined metals and other valuable materials from the wreckage of enemy starships.
What kind of resources are most
The most
useful?
straightforward way you can accumulate resource units is to bring mineral ores back to this starbase. There are probably enough resources in just the nearby dozen stars to build your ship into a powerful battleship or to create a strong task force of combat vessels. I would also recommend that you build several additional storage bays. When gathering minerals, focus on cleaning out one star system at a time. This way you minimize the cost of travel through hyperspace.
Unlike Starflight, once you've taken minerals off a planet, they stay gone. So you can't just find a mineral-rich planet and keep mining it for a long period. Because planets are tiny in Starflight, in Ur-Quan Masters.
While I respect your search for abstract knowledge, frankly, Captain, in our present circumstances, I see little use for such data here. Perhaps you could make use of biological information elsewhere.
Oh, asking about the life form analysis features of our landers.
What else can I tell you? What aspect of history, Captain?
I would like to know about the other starfaring races.
Which group of aliens?
Members of the Old Alliance. Wow.
Which race?
There is a lot of stuff to ask about. You know, ask about a couple of these and then go off and do something else for a bit.
The Shofixti are a race of intelligent marsupials who had been civilized for only a few decades when the war began. They were discovered in the Delta Gorno star system by the Yehat, who adopted and then uplifted the Shofixti, giving them advanced technology and cultural definition. Shofixti are noble and fearless warriors, Captain. In addition, their incredible fecundity and rapid maturation rate kept Alliance ranks solid even at the worst part of the war. You know, I once flew as an observer aboard one of their ships on routine patrol. We never saw the enemy, but I could never stop thinking about the glory device it had strapped to the bottom of its hull. The Yehat are a race of ancient warrior clans that have been traveling the stars for many centuries. The clans are highly competitive and sometimes even wage war on each other, but the clans are all loyal to the Queen and her royal family, known as the Veepzeeps. The Veepzeeps have been in power for over 2,000 years, and it is said that during their rule, the Yehot never lost a battle. I'd like to think I'm not a bigoted person, Captain, especially when it comes to allies, but there's just something about those Arilu that gives me the creeps. One thing I'll say for them, though, they possess some technique for moving really fast through hyperspace. They never let us know what it was, but sure beats the pants off our fastest ships. Shinjetsu were leaders of the Alliance, even though they refused to accept formally the title. I don't know if their silicon-based biology is just plain superior to our old carbon models, or if their fantastic intellect were the product of an ancient, peaceful culture. Whatever the reason, I'd rather be taking orders from a Shinjetsu than any other life form, absolutely. One of the more amazing things about them was they never used hyperwave communicators. They could send messages naturally, and their natural hyperwave receptors were much more sensitive than even our best units. We didn't really get much of a chance to learn about those mechanical beings, but I'll tell you what I know. They're the product of a distant, unknown culture who sent a giant factory ark into our region of space many centuries ago. The Mother Ark, that's what the Earth Press called it, turned out millions of robots and finally broke down. I don't know why the Myrnaherm didn't repair the Mother Ark. Maybe they can't. My personal guess as to why they were sent here is that they're on the leading edge of a colonization project. And once the Myrnaherm have tamed enough new worlds, the genuine colonists, whoever they are, will arrive and claim their due.
They had kind of cool transforming ships. They had that could transform into a fast version that couldn't turn very well and fired homing, like, guided seeking missiles, and they could also, and then would transform into a slow-moving ship that turned really quickly and had a dual laser cannon that was kind of cool. But they're not really in Star Control 2 except in the melee battle mode.
Most raw recruits saw the Siren as nothing more than warm-breathing pin-ups. Warm they are, and yes, they do breathe most magnificently, but Captain, they are far more than simple joy units. The history shows the Siren established and maintained a peaceful culture from their Bronze Age through their discovery of starflight. Before their planet was destroyed in a horrible cataclysm, their world was an Eden. What other group of aliens are you
the Alliance
interested
for
in?
now. How about the
Which
hierarchy?
species? The Mycons are hard to get a handle on. In fact, I'm not sure any human has ever had a real conversation with a Mycon. What we know of them, we've learned from their corpses, which, I may add, have a nasty habit of coming back to life when thawed out from a decompression quick freeze. Mycon ships seem to expend a significant amount of energy on life support. This is probably because the Mycon only thrive in temperatures close to the melting point of lead. As far as we know, the Mycon are the only race to actively seek out the Ur-Quan in order to become combat slaves. Imagine facing a cowardly mobile clam armed with a howitzer, and you've got a good idea of what it's like dealing with a Spathi. Although they tend to avoid battles as much as their masters will allow, once in battle, a Spathi eluder is one tough cookie. I once heard a rumor, though I don't like to believe in it myself, that a rogue band of courageous Spathi broke away from the main Starfleet, painted their ships black with bright red stripes, and formed the Black Spathi Squadron, dedicated to performing brave and hostile deeds. Like I said, I'd have to see it to believe it. It's unfortunate that the Umga fell to the Ur-Quan so early in the war, because I suspect we would have gotten along well with those big blob creatures. At the very least, it would have been entertaining. We know them a bit better than most races because they were eager to talk with our ships before, after, and during battle. The Arilu intimated that they had a relationship with the Umga before the Ur-Quan arrived, but I don't know any details.
Maybe the Arilu are near the Umga. Oops, wrong button again.
When I was flying combat missions along the Corward front, there was nothing we feared more than the Androsith hit-and-run squadron. Their blazer ships were more than a match for our cruisers, so we stayed clear of Eta Vulpeculae, their home star. In addition, I think each of us aboard the ship knew deep down in our hearts that the Androsith had a damn good reason for hating us. Our grandparents had kept them as slaves for nearly 50 years. I still have nightmares about those spiders taking me prisoner, using me as one of their 6 sacrifices to Dogar and Kazon, their twin gods of destruction and torment. Those guys were almost as scary as the Androsynth to those of us in Deep Space Patrol. Their Avenger ships could appear out of nowhere, melt a cruiser down to slag in seconds. Luckily for us, the bulk of the Ilrath fleet was thrown against the Chenjesu and the Myrnaherm. The Starship Far Voyager under the command of Captain Jeffrey L. Rand encountered the Vux near Beta Mira. Although the details are hazy, it's generally accepted that Rand offended the Vux starship commander with an inadvertent insult. What other group of aliens are you interested in? None that we had made formal contact with. The Chenjesu implied that they had met two other star-faring species, one near the Gickless constellation and the other directly coreward from Procyon. The Arilu Lalile once mentioned having some fun with an alien race in Draconis, but like so much else with the Arilu, they never revealed the whole story. I'm sure there are hundreds more alien races in our galaxy, but beyond what I've told you, your guess is as good as mine.
All right.
Would you like information on any other aspect of history? Sure. Anything else?
I think for now, let's,
Fine. Is there anything else you need? Return soon, Captain.
I can ask him about more stuff later. For now, let's see what I can do with my starship. So I'm gonna need fuel, and I'm gonna need probably at least one more storage bay. And let's get a couple thrusters and a couple turning jets just to start with for in this system. Probably gonna need more fuel tanks as well, but now I can turn a little faster. Acceleration's quite a bit better too. And let's gather some resources. I don't think the mining robots here would actually damage my lander or anything. But maybe I'll just try not to run into any of them. As you can see from the screen on the bottom, it does not take very long to drive all the way around a moon, and all of the planets seem to be equally tiny. Escape. Escape is the takeoff key. Costs different amounts of planets to land on each, or different amounts of fuel to land on each planet. Moon only takes a tiny bit, so it's probably worth landing on to pick up these last bits of metal. Actually, so about 11:30, so I think I'll end the stream here. It's like on Monday, I'll be starting with some Ur-Quan Masters. Unless I change my mind and decide to do Chroma Squad or something instead, which sounds like it might be a good idea to do as a break in between all of these space RPGs. So I'll think about that and see everybody on Monday. Is there anybody on that I should host? I wonder if Hatchlord is still streaming his Castlevania, or if he's managed to finish that. So I think he was pretty determined to try and finish. Yeah, let's see if Hatchlord's gonna get done with Castlevania 3 today. And I will see everyone next time.